Welcome to Aviva Labs hands-on Sunless 101 spray technique. To customize the spray pattern, the tines on the spray gun can be turned to direct the spray into a horizontal pattern or vertical pattern. For most of this technique, you will set and leave the gun in the horizontal position, and only when specifically instructed will you need to change the tines to a vertical one. This is what the tines will look like in the horizontal position. To make the training as easy as possible, the gun will be highlighted like this when you are supposed to pull the trigger. When it is not highlighted, release the trigger. And every time you pull the trigger, it should be pulled back all the way. Step 1. Neck and back. Have the client stand with their arms straight forward in the mummy position with their feet hip width apart. Begin spraying in negative space above the right shoulder by pulling the trigger of the gun to activate the flow of the spray. Cross the mid-neck for one pass ending in negative space above the left shoulder. Keep in mind that the body is not flat and the spray pass should have a rounded arc effect as if spraying a cylinder. Ask your client to remain in the mummy pose. Move the gun down so it's level with the left shoulder and begin spraying in negative space from that left shoulder, crossing over the top of the back for one pass ending in negative space off of the right shoulder. Move the gun down and spray from the right side starting in negative space. While making the pass, slightly overlap the area that was previously sprayed. Drop the spray gun down and repeat the back and forth pattern until you've reached the waistline, stopping at the buttocks. When spraying your last pass at the waistline, do not fear spraying on the fabric, as this will create a crisp tan line, which we will call the wow factor. Step 2. Smile lines. Next, we want to address the underside of the buttocks that create what we call smile lines. Have the client stand in a mummy pose, feet hip width apart and bent forward slightly. Starting in negative space between the legs, spray underneath the right cheek following the line of the natural crease. End the pass in negative space off of the right side of the body. Repeat the same pass for the left side, completing the underside of the buttocks. Make sure to dry this area before the client returns to standing straight. Step 3A, butt with bikini. Note, the technique is slightly different for bikini versus a bare bottom. If the bikini is on, you'll stop spraying at the bikini in order to minimize spray on the fabric and save some solution. Bring the gun back to negative space off of the right side and down slightly for a second pass ending on bikini fabric. Repeat for the left buttocks, making sure to end the pass on the bikini fabric. Bring the gun back to negative space off of the left side and down slightly for a second pass ending again on the bikini fabric. Step 3B, butt without bikini. For the client with a bare buttock, you will start on the right side of the butt in negative space and make one full pass ending off of the left side of the body into negative space. Drop the spray gun down on the left side in negative space and the pass will again be completed off of the body on the right side. Step 4. Back of the legs. For the back of the legs, start off at the right upper thigh in negative space and make one pass ending in negative space between the legs. Drop the gun down and spray in negative space from left to right. Repeat this back and forth pattern, making sure the gun always remains the same distance away from the body while working down to the ankle. As a tip, while spraying the legs, if you squat or drop to one knee as you spray the legs, it will make this part much easier. Repeat the exact same procedure for the left leg as you did for the right. Step 5. Back of arms. The arms are to be sprayed in 3 separate passes, starting with the top of the arms. Have your client stand with arms out in a T pose and have her cup her hand like holding a ball with palms facing the backdrop. Starting in negative space above the right shoulder and outside of the right ear, hold the spray gun so it tilts forward with the nozzle positioned at 2 o'clock. Make a swooping pass with the nozzle angled down slightly, starting where the neck meets the shoulder, and continue down the top of the arm and feather away at the wrist. The second pass is the underside of the arm. With your client remaining in the T position, position the spray gun in negative space under the armpit, area tilted back slightly so the spray is directed upward. In a curving motion, start on the underside of the arm and spray, feathering before the wrist. The third pass of the arms is the middle part, and you're going to start at the same point as the top of the arms. Start in negative space above the shoulder and continue down the arm, feathering before the wrist. Repeat the same 3 passes for the left side. Next, you're going to have the client turn to face the front. Step 6. Only if getting sprayed bare-chested under the breasts. Starting on the right side of the body, angle the gun towards the front of the body. And what you're going to do is spray in a W pattern. You're going to start upwards on the right breast, curve up like you're making a U, back up again in the middle of the chest, and then you're going to go down and make another U going off to the left so that you are drawing basically a W pattern on the front of the body under the breasts. Step 7. Face and neck. For the face, ask your clients to close their eyes and hold their breath before the spray crosses their face. Stay on the left side in negative space next to the forehead and make 1 pass ending in negative space to the right of their forehead. Bring the gun down and return to the left side just off of the ear. Wait for your client to take a breath and hold again, and then make another pass over the mid-face. Return to the left and have your client lift their chin and make a pass across the neck ending in negative space. Step 8. Upper chest. Next is the chest. Start in negative space off of the right shoulder and make 1 pass ending in negative space off of the left shoulder. Drop the gun down and make a second pass across the lower chest ending in negative space off of the right side of the body. Step 9. Bare chest. Next, we are going to address the top of the breast. Have your client raise their arms over their head and start in negative space below the underarm on the right side. Spray along the natural curve of the top of the breast in a rainbow motion and stop in the center of the chest. If spraying over a bikini top, simply spray 1 pass across the breasts. Repeat on the left side. Have your client stay in the current position. Bring the spray gun back to the right side to address the underside of the breast. Starting in negative space below the underarm, make a pass following the natural curve under the breast in a U motion, stopping in the middle of the chest. Repeat for the left side. Have client remain in the current pose. The spray gun can remain on the left side and make 1 pass starting in negative space across the middle of the breast, ending in negative space off of the right side. Step 10. Abdomen. While your client's hands are still on the top of their head, move the spray gun off of the left side and starting in negative space, make 1 pass over the upper abdomen right under the breasts. End the pass in negative space off of the right side. Bring the spray gun back to the right side and make another pass across the mid-abdomen ending in negative space off of the left side. Move down and repeat. Move down again and repeat for the last pass, overlapping the bikini bottom to ensure a nice, crisp tan line. Step 11A, front with bikini. Now, for the front of the bikini area, start off the right side just off the hip and make a straight pass into the upper bikini, making sure to stop on the fabric. Note, the technique will differ for bikini bottoms on or off. Bring the gun back to the right side off of the thigh and make a second straight pass to the lower bikini area, ending on the fabric. Repeat the same 2 steps for the left side. Step 11B, front without bikini. If your client chooses to be sprayed without bottoms, you'll start the pass in negative space off the left hip and make 1 straight pass across the body, ending off of the right hip. Drop the gun down and make a second pass starting off of the thigh and straight across, ending in negative space off of the left thigh. Step 12, front of legs. Have your clients move their arms out straight in the T position. Starting with the left leg, hold the gun in negative space off the mid-thigh area and make a pass ending in negative space on the inside of the leg. While still in negative space between the legs, bring the gun down to make a pass to the outside of the leg. You will continue this back and forth pattern down the entire leg. Where the last pass ended, bring the gun down and make a pass to the inside of the leg, ending in negative space. While still in negative space between the legs, drop the gun and make a pass across the knee to the outside of the leg, ending in negative space. Bring the gun down to the outside of the right leg, just off the lower knee area, being sure to move down in a squatting position to reach the lower leg area. It's important to have the gun remain the same distance from the skin as you move down the leg. Make 1 pass ending in negative space on the inside of the leg. Repeat this pattern, ending with the ankle area. Repeat the procedure used on the right leg for the entire left leg. Step 13, inside of the legs. For the inside of the leg, have your client widen their feet apart and point their left foot out sideways, keeping foot flat on the floor with a slight bend in the knee. Spray gun position should be angled at 10 o'clock to match the angle of the thigh and spray from the inside to the outside. Release the trigger as you reach the zone already sprayed in the previous step. At this point, the gun returns to standard vertical position on the lower leg. Remember, all spray passes are started in negative space, spraying from the inside out, releasing the trigger at the zone you've already sprayed in the previous step. Repeat the same passes for the right leg. Step 14, front of arms. Now that the legs are done, have your client remain in the T position to spray the front of the arms. The same passes will be used for the front of the arm as you learned with the back of the arm. First pass is the top of the arm, starting with the gun pointed slightly down so spray is directed down to the skin. Start in negative space just above the shoulder and make a pass along the top of the arm, feathering at the wrist. Bring the gun down to the underarm area with the gun pointed up slightly in negative space below the underarm area to make a pass along the underside of the arm, stopping at the wrist to avoid spraying the palms. Return the gun to above the shoulder, holding in a straightforward position. Starting in negative space, start the spray on the upper shoulder and continue down the front of the arm, feathering at the wrist. Repeat the exact same steps for the opposite side. Step 15, side of the body. The tines of the spray gun will change to the vertical position for this step only. This is what the vertical position will look like on the gun. Have your client turn facing left with arms straight forward in a mummy position. Starting in a negative position behind the shoulder, make 1 continuous pass down the front half of the side of the body, feathering at the ankle. Return the gun to the starting position and make a pass down the back half of the side of the body, again, feathering at the ankle. Have your client turn to face the right side and repeat the same passes. After the side of the body is done, you can return the nozzle back to the horizontal position to be ready for the second coat.